Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create a timesheet in Excel from scratch. By the end of this video, you will have an automatic timesheets that calculate hours worked and gross pay. Let's get started. Let's set up the basic layout for our timesheets. In the first row, we'll create headers for the following: date, time start, time stop, total hours worked, and gross pay. Next, we will format the date column. Select column A, right click, choose format cells, and select custom. For columns B to F, select the time format from the same menu. Let's enter some sample data to work with. In the date column, you can enter the work days. And in the time start and time stop columns, we'll enter the 24 hours format. For example, the start time could be 9 AM and the stop time could be 5:30 PM within a break in between, just like this. Now let's make Excel do the math. Let's enter a formula to subtract the start time from the stop time for both the morning and afternoon shifts. In the previous step, we used a simple formula to calculate the total hours worked. But as you may have noticed, when there's no data for a particular day, Excel displays as a 0 instead of leaving the cell blank. That doesn't look clean, so I prefer to leave it as blank. Here's the formula we will use. If the result equals 0, we want Excel to leave the cell blank. If the condition is true, the formula returns an empty string, which means the cell will remain blank. If the condition is false, the formula will calculate the total hours. We can use the fill handle to copy the formula down to all rows, so any empty rows will remain blank without showing zeros. Let's test this out. In our timesheet, we also calculate the gross pay by multiplying the total hours worked by the hourly rate. But if there's no data in the total hours worked column, Excel shows an error or a result that we don't want. Instead, we want the cell to remain blank if there's no valid data. To solve this, we will use the if-error function. The if-error function allows us to check for any error in a formula. We can choose what Excel should display instead. In our case, we will tell Excel to leave the cell blank if an error occurs. Just like before, we can use the fill handle to copy the formula down to all rows, so any empty rows will remain blank without showing zeros. And that's how you handle unwanted zeros in Excel. Using the if function, you can keep your timesheet or any other Excel documents looking neat and readable. Let's test this out. Let's start by entering the times for a workday. I will type 7 a.m. as the morning start time in column B and 11 a.m. as the stop time in column C. For the afternoon shift, I will enter 12 p.m. in column D and 5 p.m. as the end time in column F, and so forth for the next row. I will show you how to lock specific columns in Excel. In our case, column H and I, where we calculate total hours worked and gross pay. This will make sure no one can accidentally change these values. Before we lock specific columns, we need to make sure all the other cells are unlocked. First, select the entire sheet by clicking the small triangle in the top left corner. Right click, select Format Cells and go to the Protection tab, uncheck Locked. Then click OK. Select columns H and I, since these are the ones we want to protect. Right click, go to Format Cells and check Locked. Then click OK. Now we have locked those columns. We need to protect the entire sheet. Go to the Review tab at the top and click Protect Sheet. Then click OK. Now you have successfully locked your important columns while keeping the rest of the sheet editable. Let's test this out. This is a great way to protect your calculations and keep your timesheets error-free. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.